Now at 10, the First Baptist Church in Oronogo hosts a back-to-school party as students head back to school. Plus, we'll hear from the Animal Welfare and Adoptions Agency of Miami about their adoption and foster program. And local hatchet throwers gather at Main Street Axe Company in Joplin for a hatchet marathon.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Pittsburgh police say a man is dead after an overnight shooting outside of a bar. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Noe. It happened by Jimmy B's Bar at 202 North Locust Street around 1:15 this morning. The victim has been identified as 36-year-old Justin Krogan of Pittsburgh. Police believe the shooting was an isolated incident that may have stemmed from an argument. There's been no word on a suspect or of anyone in custody. However, they are asking the public for help identifying anyone in this photo of people that were at the bar. If you have any information, contact the Pittsburgh Police Department. There was also an overnight shooting near a bar in Joplin. This one happened around 1:30 this morning in the 500 block of Joplin Avenue. Police say a patrol officer heard a gunshot, responded, and found a man with a gunshot wound. The victim was taken to the hospital where he was last reported in critical but stable condition. JPD is asking anyone with information to come forward. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for a first look at weather.
All right, and it's a hot look out there, especially this afternoon with temperatures over 100 degrees. And we take a look at that, you can see most everyone in southeastern Kansas was above 100. Look at that, 109 in Howard, same thing in Fredonia, 103 in Chanute, 108 in Parsons. Just absolutely brutal out this afternoon, and upper 90s off to the east. And now we're looking at temperatures in the 70s and 80s. And tomorrow we're going to see temperatures dropping first through the 80s tonight down to about 75 degrees by tomorrow morning under mostly fair skies. The UV index tomorrow is going to be pretty close to off the scale, 11, which is extreme, which means less than 10 minutes of burn time. So make sure you're taking the precautions out there. Looking down the lane, we are going to have a heat wave continuing this week. Low rain chances towards the weekend, and then some cooler weather ahead, and I'll tell you about that, as well as the worsening drought in just a little bit.
We'll see you soon. First Baptist Church of Oronogo hosted a back-to-school block party today in Oronogo City Park. The event gets families together to have fun before the school year begins. First Baptist made this event possible from the offerings at the church. They also want to remind people of the importance of God in the community.
It means to simply do what Jesus did. Go to the people in the community and serve them and show them and tell them of the love of God. And so it is one of the most basic functions of the church, is to get out in the community and show people the love of God. And so it's crucial.
The event featured snow cones, bouncy houses, face painting food, and loads of fun. Main Street Axe Company in Joplin today held a hatchet marathon for throwers of all levels. It was a double elimination tournament and included lunch and drink specials. A skee ball tournament also took place after the marathon. If you're looking to add a new furry addition to your family, one business in Miami can help with that. The Animal Welfare and Adoption Agency of Miami has been offering a dog fostering and adoptions for over a decade. KOAM's Jasmine Knight has the story.
The Animal Welfare and Adoption Agency of Miami pride themselves on rehabilitation. They rescue stray puppies and dogs and give them a place to stay until they can find their forever home.
Everyone is reaching out to us. Other shelters in the area are reaching out to us because there's just not enough room for all of the dogs out there. So educating the kids and educating the people around here and getting these dogs spayed and neutered is the only way that we can eventually work our way out of the rescue.
The nonprofit agency consists of 3 volunteers. Each volunteer houses multiple puppies until they are either fostered or adopted. Their goal is to combat the puppy problem.
Dog population in this area is huge. We have so many strays, so many abandoned puppies. We had 10 puppies that were abandoned in a plastic tablecloth just last week.
For fostering families, the agency provides things like spay and neuters, food, crates, and medical for the pets. The Animal Welfare and Adoption Agency also tries their best to get them ready for home life.
We try to teach them just basic manners, trying to, teach them, how to go outside and come back inside and how to play with others nicely. So we try to teach them we try to house train them as much as we can while we have them.
The agency runs strictly on donations through Facebook, PayPal, or by dropping off at select local businesses. So if you want to adopt a dog like this cutie right here, or if you just want to try fostering for the first time, check out Animal Welfare and Adoption Agency. Reporting in Miami, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
To make a donation or to become a foster family, you can visit their Facebook page.
I sold the doe $900 straight away. Buyer number is 13, buyer 13.
Well, today, the Heartland Showcase Boar Goat Sale took place at the Bourbon County Fairgrounds in Fort Scott. The event was open to the public and began at 12 p.m. Attendees were able to bid on nearly 100 goats at the auction. Bidders were also able to participate in the sale online.
The Heartland Showcase sale has been going on for 10 years, and for 3 years we've also included a show, and we put on 2 shows, ABGA shows, on Saturday before our sale on Sundays.
The Heartland Showcase Boar Goat Sale takes place on the 3rd week in August every year. If you've noticed more bat activity, you're not alone. It's that time of the year when bats are migrating through Missouri. Nicolette Zingara tells us why it's not a reason to worry.
It's late summer, which means bats have started their migration to find a place to overwinter as temperatures turn colder. But what does that mean for us? Well, you might see a couple of rogue bats on the side of your house or near an entryway. But Francis Galiski with the Missouri Department of Conservation says it's not something to be too concerned about.
In all likelihood, it's just going to be there a little bit, because when you think about it, as it gets colder, that is not a very survivable condition for that bat. It's going to move on to a cave, an abandoned mine, somewhere where it's much more comfortable, where it's out of the weather.
In the spring, it's more common to find a colony of bats trying to reside in your house. But this time of year, they are resting before it gets too cold. Bats provide lots of benefits for our environment, and seeing one nearby is a good thing for pests like mosquitoes.
Bats provide a huge benefit by eating flying insects. Some of them do some pollination things, but the primary benefit they provide is eating flying insects. That could be mosquitoes. They also eat a number of moths that can produce caterpillars that can be agricultural pests or garden pests. So before we go being scared by that bat, let's thank the bat too for all the benefits it's providing us.
If you can't handle a bat temporarily residing near your home for a few days, you can call the Missouri Department of Conservation. They'll walk you through all the steps to ensure that you and the bat are safe.
Coming up, economic experts take a look at the economic outlook of the Ozarks region. We'll see what they had to say. Plus, how the record-breaking heat could be impacting your monthly spending. Economists from the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank were in Springfield this week to discuss the economic outlook of the Ozarks region. As Joe Hickman reports, what they had to say was generally upbeat.
The economic outlook was presented at the Oasis Convention Center by 2 experts from the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank. They told 360 business and civic attendees that the Springfield area has seen more stable growth than the rest of the country as a whole, and the area's tight labor and housing markets have contributed to that growth. But it's also increased the cost of buying a home in the area above the state and national average.
And housing affordability is one of those main concerns. While Springfield does have a good number of housing starts, we've heard that there might be supply chain issues, we've heard there might be labor shortages, things that get in the way of building the housing needed. The real challenge is going to be keeping up with that demand.
The Springfield area's low cost of living is also a well-known factor in more people moving here, but the double-edged sword is that wages are also lower.
Even though there's a low cost of living, I think there is still going to be some need for wages to increase moving forward. And I think the challenge for Springfield is going to be finding the balance between an economically competitive region and meet the needs of its workforce.
But the real differentiator are communities that are skills rich. And so the opportunity that we have as a community that has great educational resources is that we can invest in things that develop the skills for people to work in the area so that they're actually earning a great wage for wherever they live, but they can earn it here.
While the nation has avoided a major recession, the experts said that inflation is still higher than the Fed's 2% target, and that housing sales have slowed down sharply, with mortgage rates having doubled in the last year.
That translates to housing affordability being a pretty tough situation right now for potential home buyers.
And yet, with all the challenges ahead,
I'm most excited to be one of those communities and regions that's growing. When we're growing, we're able to do a lot of things well. Our problems get smaller and our opportunities get bigger. So that's a really good advantage. It's something that we need to really fully take advantage of.
Record-breaking temperatures are taking a toll on homeowners who are feeling the heat when it comes to paying energy bills. Millions of Americans are struggling to pay costly air conditioning bills as temperatures soar in many parts of the country. With energy costs on the rise, many consumers are forced to cut back on spending and find other means of income. A little later, Missouri Southern's head football coach receives a visit from a special guest. Brock Baldridge will have that and more in sports.
And we're going to have your hot forecast ahead with a look at the week as well as a cooling trend towards the weekend. I'll have the details. Well, it was a very sunny Sunday across the area, and then that allowed temperatures to warm up into the upper 90s and low 100s across the area. Right now, the sun has set at Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. A beautiful evening shaping up right now. We made it to 1-1 today in Joplin, which tied the record set back in 2003. We started off with 76 degrees this morning, which of course was above the normals of 90 and 68. And we're still about 8 3/4 of an inch of rainfall behind so far for the year, not counting the drought last year. All right, the 101 today added to our total. Now we've had 11 days this summer of 100 plus in Joplin. We're going to probably add more to that as the week rolls along. In fact, an excessive heat warning is in effect for southwest Missouri, southeastern Kansas, and also northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas will be added tomorrow, and that will extend until 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, but probably will be reissued again Monday. Temperatures right now have cooled down just a little bit. 85 in Carthage right now, 83 in Lamar, as well as Stockton, 82 in Monette. But check out Independence. They're already down to 81 and 79 in Parsons. But tomorrow the heat's going to be back, and in a big way. With the dew points added in, it's going to feel like 113 in Pittsburgh, 113 in Nevada, Stockton, Lamar. Just a brutal day across the area. And then again on Tuesday, more heat and humidity with temperatures feeling like 115 in Baxter Springs and in Pittsburgh, as well as Fort Scott, 116 in Nevada and Stockton. So hopefully this heat wave will end as very quickly, but we have to wait several more days though. Rain chances are going to be low for the next 36 hours as this ridge of high pressure that's basically been sitting over on top of us is not going anywhere. It's going to just sit there for a few more days, and then finally, as we move towards Thursday and Friday, this is going to start to retreat back towards the west, and as it does, that's going to allow energy to start dropping in from the north, cooling our temperatures down and also increasing the rain chances. But until then, it's going to be dry. Lows in the 70s tonight. Highs tomorrow will be again at or above 100 degrees, especially in southeastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. Then as we go into Tuesday morning, lows once again in the mid 70s on southwest winds. Tuesday afternoon, repeated tomorrow with temperatures again at or above 100 degrees. And then as we go into Wednesday morning, lows once again in the mid 70s. And take a look at the next 7 days. We keep the heat going all week long. So we have alert days for tomorrow all the way through Thursday, possible alert day on Friday. And then finally, at least by the time we get to the weekend, we see a chance of showers and cooler temperatures, or at least closer to normal.
Yes, closer to normal. I hate to say it. Today was almost unbearable.
Yeah,
outside.
it was pretty bad. And tomorrow, unfortunately, more of the same.
Well, looking forward to next weekend.
Me too.
Coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State's Cordell Tinch competes in the first round of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Plus, Missouri Southern football head coach Atiba Bradley gets a surprise visit from Missouri State Senators. Brock Baldridge has the story next in sports.
Well, they're still 11 days away until the Missouri Southern Lions kick off their season at home against the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. Lions head coach Atiba Bradley had quite the surprise from his family and even local politicians during the team meeting on Sunday night. Members of the media were invited to the event as Missouri State Senator Jill Carter arrived to present a resolution to the Lions head coach Atiba Bradley. The coach's family was there to see him accept the resolution for his significant accomplishments as an African-American head coach in the state of Missouri. The plaque he received is an honor by all members of the Missouri Senate. It is also notable because Bradley is the only African-American college football head coach in the state of Missouri, with the exception of Lincoln University.
To get acknowledged at this level, it means a lot. You know, it means a lot because I care a lot about our community. I care a lot about the people of Joplin and the 4 states, and it means a lot. These young men that I coach, these are the reason I do it. I just seeing their faces light up when they have successes in life, in the classroom, on the football field, that's the reward I get to see every day. And so, you know, whether it took a year, 2 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. I get a reward every day I come to work.
Well, the Missouri Southern Lions softball team was out on the diamond on Sunday morning. And no, they weren't playing, but the Lions hosted their yard game fundraiser. Softball fans and MSSU supporters got out on the field playing your typical backyard games like croquet, mini golf, and even cornhole. Some of the games got creative as student athletes got to set up their own game stations. The event even held a private auction. The softball team wanted to use this opportunity to connect with the community, raise money, and even bond as a team.
Getting people together and bringing families together and everybody being able to meet our new team. It's a lot of really good people within our program, and anytime you can get all of them together, it's always a good time. Secondly, it's to raise money for our program. It's the yard game fundraiser, so trying to have some fun out here but also raise some money. When you put people in a new situation, it's always uncomfortable at the beginning, but then when they come, like at the end of today, you're going to see real sides of people, and it's something that I value.
Pittsburgh State's Cordell Tinch has just about accomplished everything you can as a track runner at the collegiate level. The amazing journey for Tinch continues. Now Tinch gets to showcase what he can do at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Tinch is now headed to the semifinals of the men's 110-meter hurdles. Tinch didn't have his best time with 13.49 seconds. He finished in 4th place with his heat on Sunday morning, but still good enough to move on to the semis. Tinch is set for his next race on Monday afternoon at 1:05 p.m. Central Local Time. The Kansas City Chiefs come off of a big night in Arizona, and no, it wasn't quite like the last night they had in Arizona 6 months ago, but the Chiefs are able to pick up their first win of the preseason after a 38-10 win over the Arizona Cardinals.
He's glad he got in there and got some work done, and was able to get the offense in the end zone there. So that's a positive. And I thought the offensive line did a nice job for him. The receivers, we had a lot of guys catch the ball, which is positive.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling y'all back in OTAs, I could see the talent. I mean, 1 through 9, 10. I mean, like we had guys throughout the entire roster that were making plays, and you saw guys that kind of went down with injuries that didn't get to play this week, that made plays last week, and you saw other guys just step right in and make plays.
The Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals are still limping their way through the regular season. Kansas City is finishing their series with Chicago. As for St. Louis, they pick things up with New York. St. Louis takes care of business against the Mets. The Cardinals have now snapped that 4-game losing streak after their 7-3 win over New York. Paul Goldschmidt was great on Sunday afternoon as he goes 3 for 5 with a 2-run homer and 3 RBIs. St. Louis is back at it Monday night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Royals in Wrigley Field for their series finale. Royals almost completed the comeback, but they fall just short. The Royals lose their series as the Cubs defeat Kansas City 4-3. However, Maikel Garcia had a penchant RBI double. Royals head west to Oakland for a 3-game series with the A's.
What an incredible feat for Cordell Tinch being at the World Championships.
Yeah, it's really impressive, and we hope to see him keep it going and maybe even make the Olympics. Who knows?
Absolutely, that would be so exciting. Well, we'll be right back. Well, next time you see your neighbor, make sure to say hi. A new poll found that saying hi to the people who live around you can impact your overall well-being in a good way. Respondents had to rank their level of well-being across 5 metrics, including career, social, financial, physical, and community. Those who reported saying hello to 6 neighbors regularly scored a 64.1 on the Wellbeing Index.
Hi, neighbor.
Right? I can't imagine being outside, though, to see your neighbors in this
Well, I'll wait
heat.
from the window. That's what I'll do. Under the air conditioning, because it's going to be hot this week with temperatures well over 100 degrees. Alert days tomorrow through Thursday, maybe another alert day on Friday. But look at the temperatures. We're going to start dropping back closer to normal. And also, we're going to increase the rain chances as we go into the weekend with a 20% chance of storms, and then partly cloudy skies after that with temperatures in the 80s. Won't that feel nice?
Absolutely. We certainly need the rain. We just don't need any of those tropical storms that are on the west coast
hopefully
right
nothing
now.
like that.
Absolutely not. A final sports note.
Yeah, it was hot today at the Missouri Southern softball. It was good to see the fundraiser and all the girls out there having fun. But also, they released their fall ball and their spring ball schedules, so we'll now know the events of what Missouri Southern has coming up for softball.
Well, that'll be exciting to see what they do. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.